Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bry Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bry Raven, 29-year veteran writer, illustrator, and editor of comics, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and role-playing games. It is Saturday, October 9th, 2021, and I'm a half hour late again. I'm sorry for that. Just wasn't feeling well. Did not get up when I was supposed to. But it is Booktober, day 9, and we're going to be talking about Death of a Darklord by Laurell K. Hamilton. So let's get started. Death of a Darklord. We're going to be talking about the edition I read was the 2006 edition. This is the 1995 edition. The original cover depicted. I thought I'd show that first, just as an image. But the publisher was originally TSR. The 2006 edition was by Wizards of the Coast. Written by Laurell K. Hamilton, best known for the ANITA Blake Vampire Hunter series. The cover artist for this first edition in 95 was Rob Ruppel. And that is spelled correctly with the Rob with an H at the end. And the 2006 edition cover, which you'll see in a moment, was done by John Foster and Matt Adelsberger. The genre is supernatural fantasy, and the original was released in June of 95, and the second edition, September 2006. But it's about Death of a Darklord focuses on a young woman named Elaine who finds that she has a talent for magic and a land and her family that are uniquely unforgiving of such abilities, and her tragic attempts to redeem herself in the eyes of her family by aiding them on their quest to end the dark magic that has destroyed a neighboring town. This is very early Laurell K. Hamilton work. It doesn't have the gratuitous sex and violence that she would later become known for in her ANITA Blake Vampire Hunter and Mary Gentry series. And what I thought about it was, when I realized this was a Dungeons and Dragons novel, I thought that Wizards of the Coast was doing new books. I had not really ever gotten into the Ravenloft. I'm trying to think of the phrase here. Campaign setting. Back when I played Dungeons and Dragons on the regular, so I wasn't aware of the original release in 95. I happened to come across this book in the free pile, as it were, the giveaway pile at the local library, and I was like, hey, new Laurell K. Hamilton. Okay, I'll take a look at this. But as it turns out, it is what it is. It's connection to Dungeons and Dragons and Ravenloft. Hamilton's work feels like that of a relatively new author in this work, which is understandable. This was only her third novel. She'd actually done an original fantasy novel, Night Seer, in 1992, and a Star Trek Next Generation novel called Nightshade before this. Now, having read Night Seer before, many years ago, however, I feel like when I was reading this, she was dealing with too many external restrictions and orders from editorial and licensing. The characters don't seem as well developed as they should be, and Hamilton doesn't seem to do a very good job describing the world around the characters comparative to what her fans are accustomed to reading in her own original works, shall we say. The plot of the book is fairly straightforward and somewhat predictable, but as this was, I think this was the 13th book in the series, or it might have been the 11th book in the series. There were contradicting facts as I did my research on this book, but it is, either the 11th or 13th book of a series of Ravenloft novels, and so there were characters that had stories before and after it, and so you I guess you were supposed to already know who some of these characters were already, so I can't necessarily fault her for that. With that said, it's not a bad book. It's just not really a great book if you're not familiar with what's going on with some of the stuff. It is a very easy read, but it doesn't contain a lot of substance. If you want a quick read that is not all that engaging, then this may be an all right book for you if you are into Laurell K. Hamilton's writing. Casual fantasy fans should not have a problem picking it up. It's not like you're going to be weighed down with a lot of jargon from the Dungeons and Dragons universe. But hardcore fantasy fans who aren't D&D fans, but traditional fantasy, Tolkien fans, fans of Game of Thrones or other types of popular fantasy series, they may not be satisfied. They might get let down for the lack of anything substantial really happening in this book. And fans of Hamilton's personal character series will most likely be disappointed, as this is a very early work by her, and she had yet to really begin to hone her craft. And this, like I said, this is the middle book of a trilogy, actually, written with 2 other authors on each side of her work. So that kind of explains part of why the lack of descriptiveness and seemingly lack of character development, because you're missing the stuff that led into it, and you're missing the continuation of where the characters are going after it. On the flip side, if you are a Laurell K. Hamilton fan and you're tired of the sex orgies and mass killings of ANITA Blake and Mary Gentry, then maybe this book would be for you, but I can't say. Personally, I would hunt down Nightseer if you can get a copy of that book, but that's just me. It is recommended for ages 14 and up. I gave it 3 out of 5 because it is a pretty average, middle-of-the-road book. Again, not bad, but nothing earth-shattering either. And that's pretty much it for today's episode. I want to thank you for stopping by and watching. Tomorrow, or actually later tonight, I should say, we have a video coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. I'll be reviewing Star Trek Discovery, but before we do that, tomorrow's book will be Fabian Nicier's Suburban Dicks. And again, it's tentatively scheduled for 1:30 p.m. But in the meantime, again, tonight at 8 p.m., I'll be talking about Star Trek Discovery Season 3. So I hope you join me then. That one I'll definitely get on time. I'm going to have to stop putting a preset schedule on some of these things because I've been trying to set it up where I have it on a regular schedule, but it's just I'm getting messed up with my schedule for some reason the last few days. And again, I apologize for that. But I'll see you guys again at 8 p.m. And until then, have a good weekend. And again, I apologize for that. But I'll see you guys again at 8 p.m. Yeah. Sorry about that. My feedback on my YouTube page just kicked in. But I want to thank you again for watching. And if you liked this video, or you think others might, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to continue to get support from this channel. As always, I thank you for your support. If you have questions, you can reach me at lewis.brightraven on Facebook, at lewisbrightraven2 on Twitter. Want to look at my artwork, you can visit deviantart.com/brightraven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Brightraven, exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, you want to commission artwork from me, the best place to reach me is quothravenlbr72@gmail.com. And if I don't respond to you live on air or via that email address, try me at lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. Okay, then I will see you guys again at 8 p.m. Until then, have a good day.